I mean, simply from looking at his height, length, and overall measurements, the guy definitely stands out. Having the largest wingspan in the entire NBA draft, measuring in at 7'7", even larger than Clifford Amuye, who we talked about, him having a 7'6¼ wingspan. Although Amuye is a little bit shorter than Oumar Ballo, still very impressive, but Oumar Ballo definitely does have some intrigue here too. Being also a traditional big man, kind of a lob threat, rim running type of big, with some rim protection capability, so there might be a good fit for him, with that maybe being what the Lakers looking for. That traditional big man to pair with Luka Doncic, a guy that can fill their center position and be both a good rim protector, a good lob threat, and a good rebounder. Again, kind of the golden triad of a traditional big man. So we'll talk about his game, if he would be a good fit, where he may or may not be drafted at, and then talk about how the Lakers might be able to pick him up. But real quick before we get too far into it, if you do enjoy the draft breakdowns and simply the Lakers talk every day, then I genuinely would appreciate it if you dropped a like, hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and turn on notifications so you never miss out when I upload a video. It really does help out the channel and I really do appreciate it. But now getting back to our topic and talking about Oumar Ballo here, quickly going through his measurements again, is a true 7-footer, weighing in at roughly 260 pounds, and then having a massive 7'7" wingspan. Not officially confirmed at the draft combine as he wasn't a draft combine invite, unfortunately, but those are his official college measurements, and being a 5-year D1 player, they likely are pretty accurate. And well, like I said, he did spend 5 years in college, his freshman year at Gonzaga, then transferring to Arizona and spending 4 years at the Pac-12, then finally transferring for his 5th and final year at Indiana, where he posted some of his best numbers and definitely did stand out in a few areas too. During his 5th and final year, put up roughly 13 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, over 1 block per game, led the entire Big Ten in field goal percentage with a 62.3% field goal percentage, and also leading the Pac-12 in field goal percentage in both 2022-23 and 2023-24. So yeah, the guy's very efficient, even though pretty much the entirety of his shots come directly at the rim. He's not a 3-point shooter, did not attempt or make a 3-point shot last season, and not only that, but during his entire college career, did not even attempt one. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for the right team, I guess. If you're not looking for a floor spacing big, more so looking for just a dump off guy and then a lob threat, Oumar Ballo can fit that. So beginning with his offensive game and what he can offer for a team, definitely is a bit limited, but can offer a little bit of outside of just being a lob threat and a rim protection big. Does have a decent touch around the rim. I mean, you don't have a 62.3% field goal percentage, lead the entire D1 level or his conference level 3 times in a row without having a semi-decent touch. Can be a decent low post scoring threat, probably won't do much of that at the NBA level, but he did show some of it at the college level. Like I said, put up 13 points per game last season. His career high came in 2022-23 with Arizona, putting up roughly 14.2 points per game, or per 40-minute average, roughly 20.5 of them per game. So does have a decent touch. Wouldn't say he has a massive offensive bag and don't expect him to pull out dribble moves or anything like that, but isn't going to be a major low post scoring threat, is more so a limited big on offense. And I guess the last thing worth mentioning, or 2 things I guess, 1 green flag and 1 red flag. The green flag being the passing ability and showing some minor improvement during his 5th year, averaging a college career high of 2.1 assists per game to roughly 2 turnovers per game. Showing a little bit of passing ability, becoming a little bit more confident in the high posts and not simply getting tunnel vision and trying to score or put back everything around the rim, but then actually looking for his teammates a bit too. However, then for the red flag, I would point to his free throw shooting. Only shot 56.5% in college at the free throw line, indicating that he likely won't become a 3-point shooter or even a mid-range shooter, and likely has a long way to go or completely change up his shooting form at the NBA level, which might eventually become a problem if he would become a starting level big. You know, at that point, he might get fouled in the 4th quarter and might become a liability at the free throw line. So also a red flag there with him. But then moving toward his defense, and there is quite a bit to like about him here as well. Number 1 simply being rim protection, and that's not a surprise with that massive 7'7" wingspan. Is a good shot blocker, is a good last line defense. Again, averaging 1.3 block shots per game this season, and also in the past 2 before this one as well, making Pac-12 All-Defense twice, not making the All-Defensive team in the Big Ten this season, but definitely proved to be a pretty solid defender, which likely will translate to the NBA level. Now he's not the most switchable big in the world, definitely don't expect him to be switching 1 through 5 in the NBA, nothing like that, and wouldn't call him as mobile compared to a guy like we've talked about like Oumar Williams or even Clifford Amoye in my opinion, but not too bad for a true 7-footer and a guy that does weigh 260 plus. And throughout college, he did have a 5.3% block rate, not quite elite but pretty darn good, comparable to a guy like Clifford Amoye who we talked about, not quite as good compared to guys like Yannick Niederhauser or Amari Williams who we've also talked about, but pretty good nonetheless. And with his competition level, playing 4 years at a very high competition level at both Arizona and Indiana, playing in the Pac-12 and Big Ten respectively, that's some pretty good competition, and putting up that kind of block rate is pretty impressive. And even apart from that, did lead the entire Pac-12 in defensive win shares last season, back in 2023-24, also pointing to him being a good last line of defense and making a good impact on defense. And well, if I had to rank the bigs we've talked about on defense and then put Oumar Ballo within that ranking, I'd probably put him somewhere right in the middle. Ranking in order of guys probably like Yannick Niederhauser, Amari Williams, probably then Clifford Amoye, then Oumar Ballo, and then followed by Rocco Zikarsky, Maxime Reynaud, and Hansen Yang. So again, kind of somewhere in the middle, being pretty good, a little bit lacking on defense in regard to switchability and overall mobility, but definitely not lacking for height and length, not lacking as a rim protector, or as an overall last line of defense. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.